underwater. Some of the biggest surprises that you'll ever find at Russell Island. Bin chickens. Installing lights and everything around here. So they're really hard at work today. And we're going to reveal to you the Russell Island Ferry Terminal car park, which there's just nothing. No pretty sight than to see the planets of the solar system. That's what I'm going to be seeing over at Mount COOT-THA today. Alright Islanders, it's the next day here at Russell Island. We're heading over to the ferry terminal because for our mainland trip today we're going down to the planetarium. Got to be out of there before 1 o'clock so that we can actually make it back to, yep, that area is open now so I can just go safely across to there. So here we come, Islanders. I'm going to go across to the other side. Here we come. Look at that already. So many significant work already made with the ferry terminal. Though in saying that, I think that section right there still needs to be patched up. Otherwise it's just not ready at all. But aside from that little area there, I think it's good. See you at Redland Bay. Alright Islanders, we are here at Redland Bay now. There we go. Alright Islanders, we are here. My favourite shop. See you Islanders later. Alright Islanders, it's been a bit of development work along here.
Winning Creek Bridge.
Putting in a new boat ramp here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't really done much work on that. And even worse Islanders, they've cut access to footpaths. They've sliced footpaths. Wow, just like PA.
I reckon this will be
this.
the trailer bays.
Look at that, they've cut footpaths.
This will be the trailer bays for the boats.
Trailer bays for the boats right here.
Because they were going to take those bays for the boats.
Yeah.
But
that'll cause a lot of public opposition.
oh yes.
Like definitely a lot of public opposition right there, so that's why they decided that they won't use those designated, because we've got a lot of parking issues here at Redland Bay. Public's going to need as many public car parks as much as possible here. I've got the umbrella islanders because we've got a heat. We're currently experiencing another heat wave again. A heat wave that's as intense as 2017.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. Just got my friend behind me who don't know the island life protocol. But islanders, I'll see you later. I have to go now. Okay, islanders, we are here at the Sir Thomas Brisbane Planetarium right here. So there it is, islanders. It's a big building right here, as you can see.
The telescope dome.
Yeah, there's a telescope dome right there. So yeah, this planetarium will be really good for you islanders. It'll obviously get you a good amount of education content out of it, and also a bit of entertainment at the same time. It obviously will bring out some more for you islanders. Go down there, right? But I do have to warn you islanders that there's some upgrade works in this area underway right here. And that is Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, a Russian scientist right here.
Sam, I'd like to take a photo of you looking up as well beside him.
Yeah, I'm just getting island life footage right here, if that's alright, guys. Okay, over here is what Neil Armstrong's replica spacesuit looks like. Because the first man to walk on the moon was actually Neil Armstrong. And it looks like he's filming too. First man to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And this is a rocket right here. And over here we've got all the satellites and stuff right here. So this is the mirror right here. It was launched in 1986. And various modules were added later on. This one of the many individuals to live on board was Australian-born Andy Thomas, and it re-entered in 2001. This is the Skylab right here. It was first launched in 1973. It was the first US space station. Hosted 3 crews of 3 astronauts for 28, 59 and 84 days during the 1973-74, and parts of that station fell down in Western Australia in mid-1979. This is the Salyut 1. It was the world's first space station in 1971. 3-man crew spent 3 weeks on board, but were killed during re-entry due to an air leak. And then over here, this is big satellite right here, which is known as the International Space Station. And this multi-module space station was assembled in space in 1998. Has a mass of over 400 tons, and it's normally crewed by 6 people. The project involves 16 nations, and that's why today you get to see it. Alright, let's go on over down to the planet, shall we? Okay, so Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. There's of course a whole lot of planets in the solar system right here, but Mercury is the closest one of all. And yeah, and of course the 1974 the US Mariner 10 spacecraft became the first to fly past the planet Mercury. and photographing 45% of the planet. It performed 2 more flybys in 1974 and 75. America's Messenger probe became only the second to visit Mercury and the first to orbit in 2011. The planet's whole surface has been photographed, and we have learned much about its interior, magnetic field, and geological history. Okay, and now we're on to the next planet that's next. So the one that's closest to the Sun as well. So the planet second closest to the Sun. So we've had Mercury. After Mercury, the next planet after that is Venus. Now, NASA's Mariner 2 made the first successful flyby from another planet in 1962, revealing cloud-shrouded Venus to have surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead, a carbon dioxide atmosphere, and a backward rotation like Uranus. From the 1960s to the 80s, the Soviet Union landed Venera spacecraft on the planet. And from 1990 to 1994, NASA's Magellan spacecraft radar mapped 98% of Venus. And then you've got the planet which we all live on. And this is our moon right here. Been targeted by dozens of missions from several nations. In 1959, the Soviet Luna 2 probe was the first to impact on the moon, while Luna 3 returned the first images of the hidden far side. Luna 9 made the first soft landing in 1966, while in 1970, Luna 16 conducted the first robotic return of lunar soil, and Luna 1 became the first lunar rover. And the first man to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong himself. This is Mars right here. And like I said, those 2 planets right there, Mercury and Venus, in 7.9 billion years, both of them will be gone. They'll be swallowed by the Sun. In 1965, NASA's Mariner 4 spacecraft completed the first successful flyby of Mars. Mariner 9, the first probe to orbit the planet in 1971, revealed enormous volcanoes in the huge Valles Marineris Mount Canyon system. Viking 1 and 2 made the first soft landings in 1976. Since then, the planet has been completely extensively mapped, and various craft have landed, including 4 rovers. And this is on the planet Mars. This is a Mars exploration rover, or one of the many of them. That's a Viking lander right there. That's a Lunar Prospector, a Magellan spacecraft, the Venera lander right here, and that's the Luna 2 spacecraft. Luna 2. Let's see the other planets now. Asteroids and comets right here. So asteroids and comets have been targeted by spacecraft since the 1980s, including the European Space Agency's Giotto probe to Comet Halley and NASA's Dawn spacecraft, which orbited asteroid Vesta for over a year before departing for a 2015 encounter with asteroid dwarf planet Ceres. Jupiter, which is the biggest planet in our solar system. The US Pioneer 10 and 11 probes that flew by Jupiter in 1973 and 74. NASA's Voyager 1 and 2 were larger and better equipped, and in 1979 both revealed amazing features on Jupiter's major moons. With NASA's Galileo spacecraft entering orbit around Jupiter and release a probe into its atmosphere in 1995. And Jupiter has 1 ring, by the way. And of course, the planet with the most rings at this present time, Saturn. It's been visited by 3 flyby probes, Pioneer 11 and Voyagers 1 and 2. In 2004, NASA's Cassini spacecraft entered orbit around the planet and later sent the European Huygens probe to the surface of Saturn's largest moon, Titan. Now, I believe that the moon Titan, as soon as Mercury and Venus are swallowed up by the Sun, that the planet Titan could achieve surface temperatures warm enough to support life. So that's probably where people are going to probably be heading to if there's anyone left over in 7 billion years from now. Okay, now Neptune and Uranus. NASA's Voyager 2 was the only spacecraft to have visited Uranus in 1986 and Neptune in 1989. It used Saturn's gravity to send it first to Uranus, and then that planet's gravity to divert it to Neptune. So this is a montage of Uranus and 2 moons imaged by Voyager 2. And then the dwarf planet Pluto is the one that's furthest out in the solar system. In 2006, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft left Earth on the mission to dwarf planet Pluto. In 2007, an encounter with Jupiter increased the probe speed to put it on course for a 2015 encounter with Pluto. So this is the New Horizons. So this is the New Horizons thing here. The probe. That's the New Horizons probe right there. This is the NASA's Voyager spacecraft right now. That's asteroid Vesta. This is asteroid Itokawa. So the Hayabusa right here, which is a Japan spacecraft. It landed near Woomera, Australia in 2010, this thing. It's a lot like a satellite, really. Okay. This is the Zeiss Space Master Star Projector from May 1978 to January 2010. So I'll just zoom out and show you.
Oh yeah, there's one there. See the human getting beamed up on that earrings, those ones? And then the other ones are cows. 50, 90. Back to the old. We did it on the weekend.
And this is the Sir Thomas Brisbane Planetarium here, opened on the 24th of May 1978 by the Lord Mayor of Brisbane at the time, Alderman F.N. Sleeman. There's the founding curator, Jeff Ryder, escorting the Lord Mayor through the gallery on Planetarium opening day. So this planetarium is located in located in relatively new botanic gardens at Mount COOT-THA. So it was originally proposed to locate the planetarium on Mount COOT-THA, and on 28 December 1973, then Lord Mayor Clem Jones unveiled a plaque at that site. Later decided to build a planetarium within the new botanic garden at the base of the mountain here. And on the afternoon of 24th May 1978, Lord Mayor Frank Sleeman gave an opening speech to invited guests. He said the planetarium was a step to putting Brisbane on the map as a tourist centre. And finally, we've got the adjacent plaque that was unveiled by Lord Mayor Frank Sleeman during the official opening on the 24th of May 1978, right here. Which is what this is. Alright, so this is the solar system. So the Sun's family includes the 8 planets, possibly dozens of dwarf planets, and countless asteroids and comets. All planets except Mercury and Venus have moons, as do some asteroids. The portion of the Sun at right and the planetary size are shown to the same scale. So as you can see, this is the solar system now. The Sun is obviously pretty big. And within a billion years, it's only going to get bigger. In fact, it's going to get bigger for the next 8 billion years, before it becomes 54% of its current size. Over here we've got a Henbury meteorite right here. The tektite right there. The Nuevo Mercurio. Got the Forest Western Australia stony meteorite. And we've got a nickel iron meteorite right there, which was discovered in Mundrabilla, Western Australia. The stony meteorite was found in Forest, Western Australia. And that's a Nuevo Mercurio. It's a stony meteorite that was found over in Nuevo Mercurio, Zacatecas, Mexico. And there it is, that's the meteorites right there. So as you can see, that's Mercury right there, that tiny planet. This one right here, that's a bit bigger, that's Venus right there. That's our planet, that's the planet we live on, the planet Earth. And this is Mars. Now, there's probably someone's going to be terraforming Mars into a habitable planet within 100,000 years from now. This is Jupiter. Now Jupiter, in case, and I know that a lot of you don't know this, but Jupiter does have rings. It only has one ring. Saturn, which has the most amount of rings out of any planet in the solar system, is 22,000 rings. And then we've got Uranus right here. And then that's going to be followed up with Neptune. And then there's also a dwarf planet, Pluto, which we can't find in here. So the solar nebula, so the solar system formed 4.6 billion years ago from a cloud of mainly hydrogen gas and dust particles that collapsed under its own gravity into a spinning disk. Countless small objects formed, many of which collided to form the planets. And this is the sun right here. It's a really big thing. So the sun contains 99.8% of the solar system's mass. And the energy is produced in its 15 million degree core, where nuclear fusion converts hydrogen into helium. The visible surface is at 5,500 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot. Dark sunspots are cooler regions where magnetic fields impede hot gases rising from below. The outer atmosphere is the corona. Some of the sun's atmosphere flows outwards through the solar system as a solar wind composed of electrically charged particles. So the sun is 100 times the diameter of Earth, 333,000 times its mass, and 1.3 million times the volume. Now this big sun right here, over the next 8 billion years, it's obviously going to become a red dwarf star, and it's going to become even bigger. In fact, there was even one person from a Discovery Channel that says it's going to become 256 times its current size at its peak. So pretty much that means that Mercury and Venus will be swallowed up by the sun. Okay, Mercury right here. So Mercury whizzes around the sun in 88 days and rotates in 59 days. This combination means 176 Earth days elapse between sunrises. And Mercury, the innermost and smallest planet in the solar system, has no atmosphere. Surface temperatures range from negative 180 degrees Celsius to 433 degrees Celsius. Substantial iron core may be the result of a major impact stripping away most of the original crust and mantle. Asteroid and comet impacts have heavily cratered its surface. Now that's what Mercury's craters look like on the Messenger aircraft, enhanced. Now this planet's going to be swallowed up by the sun in 7.5 billion years. And here we go, Venus, which is completely uninhabitable today. Venus is almost as big as our planet, with the surface hidden by sulfuric acid clouds and a dense carbon dioxide atmosphere. A runaway greenhouse effect produces surface temperatures over 460 degrees Celsius day and night. Radar imaging shows the surface has vast plains of solidified lava, large impact craters and volcanoes. And there's the surface of Venus photographed by a Soviet Venera lander. And Venus rotates backwards and takes longer to rotate, 243 days, than it takes to orbit the Sun, which is 225 days. And then the planet we all live on, the planet Earth. So those two right there are going to be swallowed by the Sun in 7.59 billion years. And here's the planet we all live on, the planet Earth. Earth is unique in the solar system as it is the home of diverse life forms. Water covers 70% of its surface. Life is protected from intense solar radiation by the atmosphere and a magnetic field. The atmosphere ensures that most small objects, such as asteroid fragments, burn up as they encounter the air at high speed. Geological and erosion processes have removed traces of early impact craters. And did you know that if all of the liquid water on Earth were to be collected, it would fill a sphere about 1,380 kilometers in diameter? Now, the amount of time that it takes to make a full rotation is 24 hours, and it goes around the whole sun, takes 366 every 4 years, but 365 days on the others, to actually make a full orbit around the sun. Now, obviously, the seasons. The Earth has seasons because its rotation axis is tilted relative to its orbit around the Sun. In June, the South Pole tilts away from the Sun, and it is winter in the Northern Hemisphere. So Southern Hemisphere will be winter, and in December the South Pole tilts toward the Sun, and the Southern Hemisphere experiences the summer. Now the tides on Earth are caused by the moon and to a lesser extent the distant sun. Highest tides are at new and full moon, where the moon and sun line up with our planet. Lowest tides occur when the moon and sun are at right angles with the planet Earth.
That's what I was actually looking at.
So the Earth and the moon are shown to scale and assess separations when the moon is at its closest, average and greatest distances in its elliptical orbit around Earth. Apollo astronauts took almost 3 days to reach the moon, but moonline gets here in just over a second. Now this is what the moon looks like right here. So it's got so the near side looks like that, and the far side looks like that. Now the moon may have formed from debris produced in the collision between Earth and a Mars-sized object 4.5 billion years ago. Both rotates and orbits Earth in 1 month, so we only see one side. And the surface is heavily cratered from the impacts of asteroids and comets. Large dark Maria seas are regions of solidified lava inside very large craters formed billions of years ago. Far side is almost lacking in Maria for reasons not fully understood. And if you have a look at this here, the British Empire used to cover up 94% of all the land on the moon. So when you see at one side of the moon that's facing towards you, that right there is 47% of the British Empire, each side. Now over here we've got Mars right here. Now that moon's going to rain down the Earth's molten surface in billions of years from now. Now the largest known volcano in the solar system would be the Olympus Mons, located over here in Mars. Look at that, it actually looks like it's covering up Toowoomba, Gondawindi, Roma, Maroochydore, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Lismore and Grafton. So it's going to be obviously 600 kilometers wide. So the red planet is half the size of Earth and apparently lifeless. It is cold and dry with iron-rich, rusty soil. A very thin atmosphere allows clouds and occasional global dust storms. Mars, with evidence of past water flow, may have been a warmer and wetter place billions of years ago. Ice caps and mainly water ice still exist, despite no evidence of current volcanic activity. There are ancient volcanoes such as Olympus Mons, 600 kilometers wide and 3 times as high as Mount Everest. South of the equator is Valles Marineris, a canyon system over 4,000 kilometers long. And that right here is the planet Mars. It's a pretty big planet.
Scientific theory the other day actually.
That is really, really big right here. And it looks like to me that in about 1.5 billion years, the surface temperature of Mars will resemble Earth during the last ice age. So that's looking really good right there. So that'll be good for advanced civilizations in the future. Let's go on over to the giant worlds here. Jupiter, which is the solar system's largest planet, has a diameter 11 times the size of Earth and is composed mainly of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter's appearance is marked by light zones and darker cloud belts. The red spot is a storm observed since the 17th century right here. It's a pretty big one too. And as you can see, did you know that Jupiter is normally the 4th brightest object in the heavens after the Sun, Moon and Venus? Now Saturn right here is the 2nd largest planet, over 9 times further out from the Sun and Earth right here. Its spectacular ring system has 3 main sections consisting of thousands of ringlets of mainly ice particles and some dust. And right here, look at that. There's over thousands and thousands of rings in there. And a little known fact, Jupiter only has 1 ring, but Saturn has over 22,000 different rings. And then Saturn's moon named Titan is Saturn's largest moon. Titan has a dense atmosphere of mainly nitrogen and an orange organic smog. Its surface has lakes and rivers of liquid methane and ethane at negative 179 degrees Celsius. So as the sun becomes large and reaches its peak of its size, then this is where civilization will flee right over to Titan, because it'll have surface temperatures warm enough for life now. Now, the next planet, Uranus. So Uranus, less than half Saturn's diameter, is almost featureless, but has 900-kilometer gales. Ooh. It may have a small rocky core surrounded by a massive ice layer and a hydrogen-helium outer layer and atmosphere. Uranus orbits tilted on its side, probably due to a major impact early in its history. So, as you know, Uranus was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope. William Herschel used a homemade telescope in Bath and accidentally discovered the seventh planet on the 13th of March 1781. So this would be 7 years before the first fleet landed in Australia, which would be back then named New Holland. Okay, Neptune right here, which is 4 times Earth's diameter, orbits the Sun 30 times further out than Earth. Internally it is like Uranus, and methane gives it a blue colour. In 1989, Voyager 2 imaged an Earth-sized storm named the Great Dark Spot, and Neptune was the first planet to be predicted with the use of mathematics. Uranus was not following its expected orbit, and calculations predicting another planet led to the discovery of Neptune in 1846. And beyond Neptune, diminished light shines on countless objects composed of rock, methane, ammonia, and water ices, including dwarf planets like Pluto. Passing stars send comets toward the sun where they can and warm up and form clouds, comas, and tails of gas and dust. That's the things there. Okay, so for all of you that obviously didn't know about the Invasion Day thing, but it's an Aboriginal thing, but here it is. But there's Aboriginal history with this nation as well, and I figured that since it's in here, we may as well do it too. So, Australia is home to more than 250 Aboriginal nations right here. The Turrbal people in Brisbane, the Yagara people in Brisbane, the Meriam people in the Torres Strait Islands, the Waterman people in Katherine, Northern Territory, and the Ualai people in Goodoogga, New South Wales. So this is the Southern Cross right here. You maybe see these in the sky at night too. This is the genome right here. The Dung Dung, the Nadi. So they create our ancestors, Nadi and Dung Dung. So the Waterman people look to the pointer stars Alpha and Beta Centauri as Nadi and Dung Dung. So yeah, so if you want to read all that, be my guest. But the stars are Tagai. Torres Strait Islanders have always watched the movement of the Tagai constellation to know the best seasons to hunt turtles and dugong. And this is what they have right here. Everything on the land is reflected in the sky. And that's right here what the Garagay constellation looks like. The emu. Every season, the celestial emu changes position, which tells the Ualai people when certain events are going to happen. The twinkling stars and the Gunurima moon halo. And then reading the seasons, this is what the Waterman people look to the stars for guidance on seasonal change, shifting trade winds and coming rain. We're in February now, so it will be the Wulujunjin. And then from April to September, it'd be the Wujurijin. And of course we've got the Ngurumun. Can't even pronounce it, so I'm not Aboriginal, so I can't really pronounce these things. And then December to January is the Yijilgu. not really good with reading things, sorry guys. Bizam the shark right here. From island to island. And then there's the star maps right here, so everything that you see here, be able to find it Aboriginal stuff. But yeah, you should come by and see it for yourselves. But yeah, 65,000 years ago, earliest confirmed evidence Aboriginal people have migrated to Australia. The Mungo man lives in western New South Wales 43,000 years ago. The Aboriginal creates Nawala Gabang Rong art in Arnhem Land 28,000 years ago. The early Europeans create paintings at Lascaux caves in France 17,000 years ago. 7,000 years ago, rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age are recorded in Aboriginal traditions around Australia. 4,500 years ago, construction of the pyramids in Giza in Egypt. Aboriginal people in the Central Desert observed the Henbury meteorite impact 4,200 years ago. In 1843, the Wergai people of Victoria observed the sun rising of the Eta Carinae, incorporating the event into their oral traditions. And the humans first landed on the moon in 1969, and Neil Armstrong was the first astronaut to walk on the moon. 1977, a Longu Morning Star song was included on the time capsule records attached to the Voyager 1 and 2 spacecraft and launched into space. So there you have it. There's lots of galaxies. Our Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy about 100,000 light years in diameter. The solar system lies more than halfway out in the galactic disk, edge on in this composite image, center of which is obscured by dust lanes. Two satellite galaxies, a large and small Magellanic clouds, can be seen to the lower right. So I'm going to show you all. This is our Milky Way. This is the Milky Way galaxy here. But in about 4 billion years, here we go. Look at that. Some galaxies pass so close to one another that their mutual gravity can distort their shapes. On occasions, galaxies collide and merge. The Milky Way and Andromeda galaxies are on a course for a collision in several billion years. But how soon? You might be wondering, is the Andromeda galaxy going to collide with the Milky Way galaxy? 4 billion years, Highlanders. In 4 billion years, the Andromeda galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy will collide, and then they'll merge together to form a brand new galaxy. So that means that in 4 billion years, we're going to have the Andromeda and Milky Way galaxies merged together. And mind you, the Andromeda galaxy is going to be even bigger than our own galaxy. There's star clusters right there. The nebulae. That's the Orion Nebula. This is the Carina Nebula right here. These are the exoplanets right here, the Kepler-22 system, the habitable zones right there. And that's the Kepler-22b right there. This is the solar system right here, the habitable zone, which is Earth, which is where Earth currently sits, but in about 1.5 billion years, Mars will become part of the habitable zone and Earth won't be. And then over here, we've got some more stars. So we've got the Aldebaran right there, the Rigel, the star Betelgeuse, which will become a supernova in the future. Arcturus right there. We've got Wolf 359, the Sun right there, and this is the planet Sirius right here. And then if you look over here, there's all the star constellations. A Centaurus right there. Let's see if I can. There you go. Centaurus. The Crux right there, which is the Southern Cross. Yep. If you really want if you really want to see all of this yourselves, come by down over to the planetarium. See for yourselves. I mean, it's pretty interesting. Okay, Islanders, now we're going up the mountain here, because our next destination would require us to go up the mountain. So it starts here, was what I was told. And yeah, and now we're just going to show you Islanders up here. So the summit lookout, which is the Mount COOT-THA.
We'll go the back way to it. Yep.
So yeah, we're going to go around the back way.
I think this is the back way.
Okay, well we can't really go down that way. We have to go that way, because that's a no entry zone. All right, so you can see just how windy the road already looks before you even get there.
Slaughter Falls, famous place people used to come to.
Oh yeah.
And you'll see the Channel 9 and Channel 7 towers.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, Channel 9 and Channel 7, Channel 10 too. They also they're there as well. And I think SBS too. They also live there.
Yeah.
Yep. So you'll get to see the transmitter towers of the commercial channels, and quite possibly also SBS. So this is for the Brisbane area. I'm not sure what it will be like for the other areas, like the Gold Coast and all that, but this is for Brisbane. With the antenna that I have on top of my on top of the house that I'm currently living at, I get Brisbane channels no problem at all. But I definitely have to say that the kids channels are by far my favourite ones, Islanders. Anyways,
here we go. Up we go.
Up we come through here.
These will pop soon, I reckon.
Yep. So you can see the windy road already, Islanders. It's very windy around here. There's so many loops and turns and twists and all of that around here. So you're going to be seeing people riding horses, people hitchhiking, and people riding bicycles for the next 7 kilometres.
Gee, he's adventurous to be riding up the hill. I'll have an electric one.
An electric one.
Help me up the hill.
Yeah, come on, electric bike, help me up a hill. Yeah. And then when help me up the hill, it's quite a steep hill.
And then you want good brakes on the other end going down.
Oh yeah, that's right. Be like, oh my goodness, and apply the brakes, apply the brakes, apply the brakes. Yeah, very windy road as you can see. It just twists like no tomorrow all the time, and you've got people riding bicycles along here too. But of course, there's going to be a lane dedicated for people riding bicycles along here, because you know it's a very narrow road here, and we've got to obviously have some bit of respect for some people driving vehicles and stuff like that. So that's why we have here. Okay, I see a couple of transmitting towers. There's a couple of transmitter towers up there. In the distance there, Islanders. I'm not sure if you can see them. But yeah, eventually we're going to see that when we come through here. Because we're edging very, very close, Islanders, to it. We're edging very, very close to them. So if we zoom out a bit, and then yeah, you can, as we go along the winding roads here, you will get very, very close to the transmission towers. Now, these transmission towers provide, you know, citywide coverage. Goes all the way from around here, all the way down to around, probably up to Tambourine Mountain or something. Okay, there's one of the transmission towers there.
Paramount.
This is for Channel 10 right here, which Paramount Global obviously has rights to that because CBS acquired Channel 10. That's ABC's channel. That's the ABC transmission tower right there. This is Channel 2, ABC. Yep, there it is right there. ABC right there. I think the car just stalled. So yeah, ABC right there. Of course, by far one of my favourite stations. They obviously have a lot of programs that I do watch from them on there, like the New Year's Eve fireworks and Bluey. Ironically, and Channel 10 over there, they have things like Paw Patrol and all of that as well. South Park, all of those good ones right there, because of CBS. There's another 2 transmission towers. I'm not sure if Channel 7 or Channel 9 is the closer one. Looks like we're about to find out, Islanders. I think I saw a bit of red there, so... Channel 7.
Channel 7.
And this is Channel 7 over here. So the 7 network right here, and that's their transmission tower right there, Channel 7. Channel 7 have really good programs on there too, and I watch a lot of programs on Channel 7 as well. They hosted programs like Blinky Bill and Bambaloo, Toy Box, and so many other programs. My Kitchen Rules, all of those.
That's how.
And that's Channel 9 right there. And Channel 9 hosted programs like The Price is Right and 9 News. Oh, and also another channel another program they hosted for many years was Here's Humphrey.
Oh, yes.
High Five was another good one too from Channel 9. So all of those programs right there, boom, right there, Channel 9. That's their logo. So there you have it, Islanders. Those are the transmission towers right there of the 5 channel stations, actually. So how cool is that, Islanders, to see all of those right there? And Channel 10 obviously has the rights to Paramount programs because CBS acquired Channel 10 and Viacom merged with CBS in 2019 and became Viacom CBS before renaming to Paramount last year. Okay, Crest right down here. And you can tell how winding the road already looks. I'll tell you what, Islanders, because I'll see you Islanders when we get there. Some years ago. Alright, Islanders, we are here at the Summit Lookout, which it used to be called the Mount COOT-THA Lookout. Now it's different. Now it's obviously named differently. I don't know why.
Bush turkeys.
No, it's down there. Gobble, 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 gobble. Got some turkeys. Alright, let's walk on up, Islanders. Because you Islanders have to get your exercise as well. Right. I'll take this with me and my umbrella. And then we'll walk over to there. Alright, here we are. We're at the summit lookout at Mount COOT-THA. Unfortunately, that's closed.
That's the old tour.
And they're closed. And there it is down there.
You can go up there, Sam. Go to the front and meet in the cafe, okay?
Yep. Alright, Islanders, I'm going to show you the other lookout here. I'm not sure how many lookouts there are around here. A lot. And here we go, Islanders. I'm going to walk up here. You guys are going to come with me. And I'll show you all the big lookout. And then we'll go up to the gazebo there and show you an even better view. So this right here is the summit lookout, but it's also known as the Mount COOT-THA lookout too. We used to come here. We used to come here a long time ago. Like, believe it or not, this is where the Year 12 students were obviously at during the big night. So it's the last location right here before we headed back to Woodridge High. Look at that, everyone. There you can see so many other suburbs and even the city up in the distance too. That's how cool it actually looks around here. Look at that. Right, there you go. Get to see the view of Brisbane from here. Brisbane City's all the way down there. How nice. Okay, let's go see it from the gazebo. Okay, here we go. We're going to go up to the gazebo and I'm going to show you Islanders up there. So yeah, you got to do a lot of. You got to go up the stairs quite a lot around here. But yeah, you can even see much more higher up view of Brisbane. Pretty much more of the southeast from up here. You can kind of see it already. Still. Alright, Islanders, now we are leaving Mount COOT-THA lookout here, so now we're going to show you all the downhill right here. And this is a one-way street here that we're going down, so yeah, because it has changed quite a bit since I was last here as well. The left goes down to the picnic area, but you can't left turn here on this section. So be careful, there are people walking and there are bicycles along here. Slow down. Show you all. Yep, so there's going to be a very windy road here. It's going to have lots of turns and stuff like that. So you Islanders better look out for this because this is going to be a big one. We're here to encounter a huge problem. Because it has changed in 7 years. In the last 7 years it's totally different now. Because I was here in November of 2016 when we came up here. So it's the last location before we returned back to the high school. And it was an overnight excursion, of course. And right over here, going down here.
They're on the left.
No, you can't sing. Copyright.
That city.
Copyright.
Brisbane City on the right.
Infringement.
Brisbane City.
Do you want this episode to be flagged by copyright?
I doubt they'll flag if I'm saying Brisbane City.
I think they will. We got to follow US laws here, not Australian laws. In fact, we have to follow Australian and US laws.
Oh, police car, I think. Speed camera. No.
Nope.
There's the quarry. Go through the quarry down there.
Down to the quarry down there, which you just missed.
And this is the road where I said we'll go the long way around. And we're meeting up to the planetarium.
So here you go, Islanders. We all go downhill from here. It only goes downhill. We're so lucky that it wasn't just a big heat wave today.
Current temperature outside is 31 degrees.
And no heat wave. Because normally there would be heat wave. There's a low intensity heat wave expected for this region, considered severe. So we got lucky. But yeah, you should definitely come up to the summit lookout and the planetarium as well. You'll learn a lot. And it obviously gets you out of the house too, Islanders. If you're in the city or island. See you later. Alright, Islanders, we're showing you the old Brisbane tennis courts. Free Park. And Islanders, look at this. If you see my hat, show you all here. Right. There we go. 4X. And there's the brewery to match it. That's the 4X brewery right there in Milton. So this is the 4X brewery in Milton. Right here. You can see the 4X flag there. It actually clearly resembles this 4X logo right here. Same thing, Islanders. That means that 4X is a Queensland brand. Haha. Hi Islanders, we are here at the Russell Island Ferry Terminal. Actually, we need to get down there fast. Quick. Okay, Islanders, we have made it to Russell Island. Alright Islanders, I've been heard that Russell Island taxi is ending soon. Its services are starting to expire really soon. Okay Islanders, let's go to the family office from here. I'm having a good dinner tonight, myself. I don't know why that lady's rushing to the ferry. That ferry that just got here just terminated here. So I don't feel there really is any need to rush. Everybody has to disembark here anyway. So I don't know how it makes any difference. And look at this. It got so bad that they've had to pave it over again. And that's not the only one that had to be done. This one too. As you can see, they've had to patch it up. That's so terrible they had to patch that up. This is, yeah, it's just absolutely terrible. They do that. Thanks for watching this episode of Island Life Living in Poverty. Leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you Islanders tomorrow, okay? Bye bye! Don't forget to click below and subscribe to the official Island Life YouTube channel.